Yeah, you tell me when. You said we should be good? Okay, I'm sorry for me. Okay, we'll go ahead and call to order the May 12, 2026 meeting of the Spiceland Town Council. We'll start with the minutes of the prior meeting. And we get an approval for the minutes of the April 14th, 2026 meeting. Can I get a motion?
Yes.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to accept the minutes of the April 14th, 2026 meeting as written. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, motion passes. Jody sign. Okay. Next up here is the superintendent's report. Jeff is absent tonight, but did he leave anything with you, Hope, from the superintendents? Okay. The clerk treasurer report. Do you have anything else that you want to address tonight?
When Steve was here last month, there was a task order basically for them to do the task and everything that's required to go to the community crossing. We did not get that signed. We weren't sure if I missed it or if he missed it or whatever. But there is two places that need to have signatures on them, or two of the same forms that need signatures, but basically it's just like saying, hey, we're going to let them do the work for us. So
Okay.
if you guys can sign that, and then I'll get Karen to sign it this week.
This is on this. Okay. And we've already voted on this and everything. We're going to take a vote.
Yeah.
It's just signatures.
Just signatures only. Yeah, we forgot to sign it last month. And then, while we're doing that, I also put together a little packet that's in your stuff here about some budget information that, we'll need to look at going into this new budget year.
Okay.
So just, some things, fire department, obviously. Maybe upping a couple of,
I'm sorry. Some of the
some of the funds and things like that. So just a little packet put together so we can just, put that in discussion so we can get that budget going
Okay.
in the month of June. So.
Yeah, some of these probably will be updated
Right.
along with them.
Exactly, yeah, so. Other than that, of course, we have the dumpsters in, adding the 2 dumpsters, brought in a lot more.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, so they were very well used, obviously, so.
Well, we're happy that's what they're filled for. Hopefully you got some junk out here.
Exactly, yeah. No, you're not, sorry, I was done before.
You excluded me, really sorry.
No.
You were daily and dollar store.
Yeah. That's all I had, so.
Okay, thank you. Okay, do we have any discussion from the board on the approval or disapproval of the claims? If we don't have any discussion on the claims, I'll take a motion to accept the claims as presented. Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Yes. It's been moved and seconded to accept the claims as presented. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, motion passes. Claims accepted. Thank you. Okay, does any council member have any old business we need to discuss from any prior meetings? You good? Do you have anything that we need to discuss? Any old business?
Gilbert.
we got the order back, it was specialty report, and we got the order back today on the sheriff.
Okay.
So it's in the process for state.
Perfect. We really appreciate you, Julie, catching that and getting us, in there on time, so letting the statute of limitations run on that now. So, do we have anything else, old business wise?
I think that's about it.
But I still have not, now I need to put that on my list. I will call them tomorrow, actually. On moving them and or updating them.
Yeah.
This for the park.
This is about possibly moving I called them 2 months ago about getting a cellular device to put in there so that they can, broadcast the signal back here. He was gonna price us on him getting one and installing it and or relocating some of those cameras and stuff, but yeah, exactly, so I need to follow up with him on that one. Okay, do we have any?
Have you talked to Matt about what we said last meeting about ordinances?
Yes, we've had discussions about that. I was gonna bring it up in new business as well, but we've got, Matt wants us also to put together, a list of some initial properties and stuff like that he can start citing off of the new ordinances and everything, here in town that he kind of wants to go through. He wants us to give him, a short list to work off of first, and then, we'll work it down, but we gotta make sure that, who the person actually citing is, because he's the person living in the house. It can't be, if it's a rental property, right, you're obviously not citing the owner property, you're citing the tenant. So I have to work through, I put together a short list, that I'll send to you guys and we'll have ready for, the next meeting. But I want you to go through with Hope and go through and make sure, because you would probably know from the billing on, if it's, who's the occupant, who's the actual owner, if it's not the actual owner of the property, so.
Why not say old owner?
I never thought of that, but that's probably not a bad.
They should at least know about it, because if, say, they ultimately get to the point where they have the bill for hauling things off vehicles or whatever, and then they leave, that stays with the property.
And they have to be noticed. Yeah.
Yeah, because even on a contract sale and stuff like that, even.
Yeah, you have to notice that then they say that they were innocent parties.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the contract sale, the original owner of the property is like the mortgager.
Mm-hmm.
So, typically mortgagers don't find out until, but, I feel like there's a responsibility.
And they do title search and then they send out notice to the mortgagor. So, whenever you're suing, just like Gilbert, you put everybody that's part of.
Well, we discuss that on current ones that we have out there, as well as moving forward citations and stuff like that as well. So, that's a really good point, Julie, that I'm not sending a citation, but a notice.
Correct, that this is happening, and I think that was done originally in our neighborhood. It originally went to the owner as well, or at least that was my understanding.
I think we did.
How did we have it with the last ones?
Well, like, is it one of the Smiths that their father is? Yeah, so we cited everybody on.
Okay, well, we'll just have to go through and, we'll have to work through that together, Julie, on our current ones, plus going forward on how we do that. I have a feeling we're gonna start enforcing these and stuff, that we're gonna have to come up with an outline, so it's an efficient way of doing it. Like, when we do this, it's, here's a warning, here's a citation, here's how we.
And dates,
Yes.
how many days after.
Mm-hmm. Is there any other new business?
New business, somebody thought me about they wanted to get some no parking signs put on the bays and the fire trucks.
Like the new gravel lot, like in front of the two
Yeah.
bays, because there's like people that live right there that park there, and we're not gonna have a way to move their cars if we need to get those trucks out.
Yeah,
and our new truck is a beast.
yeah.
It's kind of
No,
fun.
that's, I
That's
mean,
the nicest way to put it.
yeah,
Hard part.
that's very important. Yeah,
And that's the one that has all the water, so.
yeah, that's a little bit important.
It's those cars sitting there we call home.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
Do you, are you thinking just signs, I mean, are you wanting to put signs on the door itself of the building, or put signs out in the?
We were like, I know there's an electric pole right there at the corner, so we discussed that, and we can also just put signs on the door too, and it's kind of whatever you guys think.
I would have drilled the ring door for the door.
We've already had one of those doors, right, so we don't want to add for people.
No, but we'll have, let's talk to Bobby about that.
Yeah, we might have a couple, if not, we can get.
We're just, like, it hasn't been an issue yet, but that door's
It
only
will be.
been up for less than a week.
Yeah,
So we're just trying
so
to.
probably just go over there and we'll just notify them too and say, hey, like, we're just being neighborly, but now you cannot block the exit of emergency vehicle right here. So it doesn't matter when you're parking here, this is no parking anytime. This isn't like a no parking between these hours. This is no
Yeah,
parking
and like,
anytime.
and we know like where we can like stop, but like it's hard to explain to citizens, so it's easier just to like put no parking. Yeah.
Does it make any sense to put, I don't know the dimensions of it, because I haven't gone over there and looked, like parking curbs there where someone can't push their way into it?
No,
Or would that get in the way of moving through that?
but it'd probably get in the way more than anything. I mean, we can go look at it after we're done just to kind of get your thoughts on it if you want.
Yeah,
Just
or whatever we need to do.
trying to get ahead of it.
Yeah, well, I mean, we can't use a tanker for a bulldozer to get everything out, so. Yeah. That's something that we gotta address pretty quick. I'm gonna follow up too with Jeff and Bobby about, a few electrical upgrades for down in the park. I know we try to do a little bit each year for Spice on Freedom Days, so we've got some, probably as many vendors signed up this year as we've had in a long time, so there's gonna be a lot of demand, so, I'm gonna follow up with them on that, and I don't know how much, that's gonna be something they're gonna have to start working on here, since it's gonna be coming up soon. Let me look what we have in the, is this coming out of, everything is this coming out of the electric fund? Is that it?
Yeah. Fine.
If I could find that, right?
Usually we don't have electrical motors because there's no budget for them.
Oh, there's not, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of a.
There's, okay. Well, I'd like to make a motion, to approve up to $2,500 for electric upgrades for the park. And if we have to amend that amount on a later date, but I thought that would just be a rough starting point for, materials and, material upgrades in there for the park and everything. So, will anybody second my motion for
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve up to $2,500 for electrical upgrades down, in the park area. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? No, you're fine, okay. Motion passes. I figured that way, then Jeff doesn't have to ask for anything, it's just, and then if we need more, if we don't end up using that, then we'll just cross that bridge whenever we come to it. What else was I thought? We talked about Matt, we still got a couple of things throughout the town working on cars blocking public platted streets, and or alleys, sidewalks, everything like that, that I've been keeping him up to date on. I know he's had multiple warning conversations with. Cemetery wise, I think that, I've had people complaining about things getting stolen from down at the cemetery. I don't necessarily know, I mean, like, you go there, and it's not on the grade anymore. We have no way of telling if it was the wind, if someone did go down there and steal it. If, I mean, obviously, the wind isn't gonna pick up a whole pot and, you know, move it, but, so I mean, obviously, we don't have full-time patrol down here or anything, but just to keep that top of mind, just be watching. I know a lot of people are down there, so. Also, I wanted to get board approval while we're all here, for Spice and Freedom Days. It will be July 10th and 11th, I believe, this year. Let me make sure, 10th and 11th. Like we do every year, at least for the past 3 years, the town has, reimbursed Spice and Freedom Days for our, liability insurance for the weekend. So, they don't usually let me quote that until like sub 30 days until the event, so I don't have a price or anything yet, so I'll bring that to, next month's meeting. But, also just wanted to, we don't really do this as a motion in the past, we haven't, but just wanted to get the board's thoughts on still keeping approval to use the same parade route and everything for Saturday, and also doing a temporary no parking on Saturday morning, basically from like 8 a.m. to after the parade's done at 1 or whatever. So is everyone still okay with doing that as usual?
Yeah, I am.
Is that Broad?
Broad Main, yeah, it's a no parking, and then we don't usually have street parking on the, what would that be? Fifth, yeah, Fourth, yeah. It's 4th Street, yeah.
Fourth, where they come in.
Yeah, so that should be business as usual. I think that's pretty much everything that I had off the top of my head for new business, for this month. So we will jump into audience, any audience questions and or comments. Who wants to speak first? You're up.
Are we gonna do any type of street repair or anything this year?
So we have not approved anything because we were waiting on the final, the final word on how much we were gonna need for this community crossings grant, but I still think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Hope, there's still some money left over for some crack repairs and different things like that. Is there something specific that you wanna,
There on Fifth Street, coming off of Broad, or Main, heading to the north, that big hill right there, right when you turn there, and it's kind of rough. I mean, you know, you need to cut it back about 40, 50 feet, and then you can bring it right into it, and it wouldn't disrupt the water flow. I understand that, but it's just you gotta hit it.
yeah, it's a huge hump right there.
Yeah. The same thing like as down on 4th Street there in front of, it's Travis,
No, Travis Estes.
yeah, in front of his house there. It used to be, the teacher, Jessup.
Yeah.
Max Jessup's house. And that one's a big one too, it's not as bad as what's there.
Yeah, Fifth Street's the approach on it, I mean, like after
When it's busted in the middle, and so you're scrubbing your tires and the whole 9 yards, I'm just asking.
yeah, now that's something that needs to be addressed, that doesn't, I mean, ever since Main Street was correct, when everything was milled out and everything, it's not, it took it down even more, and it's collapsed over the past couple of years.
Oh, yeah.
Increasingly, so.
All the railroad ties are up.
Mm-hmm.
I know what's in here.
More than likely, yeah, don't be thinking too much.
Got the body there.
No, well, yeah,
I just follow that, that's all I got.
yeah, no, I appreciate that, that means we take care of, when I was on Fifth Street, my wife said something every time she went over that thing, so I know everybody else does, so, like, it's especially a low profile car, like my brother was on Fifth Street, I mean, it like scrapes his, you know, scrapes a running plate underneath.
All the molding,
Mm-hmm.
all his Ground effects, there you go.
We'll see.
I can't think of it.
I'll talk with Jeff and see what we can be done, what can be done within what our remaining street budget is and
Because if
everything.
you would, I mean, I'm gonna say, not as far back as what, Todd's driveway is, but that would give you a good slope there to get it down the main, and it wouldn't have no problem with the water drainage or nothing.
Yeah.
Actually get some more water on it.
Yeah. I'll talk with them and see what our best course of action will be on that, but you're right, that does need to be addressed. So we're not straightening other people's cars up.
I'm just asking.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Get him, Donnie.
Yeah,
I ain't got nothing this week. No. I ain't got nothing.
I was just absorbing this month.
I'm just
taking all
showing
of
I'm just showing up.
Mommy's at work and he's down the woods.
On his golf cart.
On the golf cart, he was.
Amelia, you have anything?
No,
Okay. April?
I got a list.
Oh, uh-oh. I want you to have it. I want you to have it.
Pencil's here.
I would say thank you for everybody, with Spice and Care saying support us with projects and flowers and everything else. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. First thing I want to talk about is our summer reading program at the library. Summer's fast approaching, and our theme this year is dinosaurs, unearth the story. And I really want to do something fun. And I would like to see, I kind of talked to you about it already, if we could block off the road in front of the park and have a dinosaur egg hunt. And maybe get a fire truck for the kids to play in or whatever. And, I've talked to the churches about setting up booths. So we might need electricity because we have a cotton candy maker and a popcorn maker and maybe hot dogs or something.
You got it all right there.
Yeah, I've got, and several other people I've already talked to about setting up booths for crafts for kids, and it's all gonna be free. So, I just need approval that we can do it. And it will be June sixth, which is a Saturday, and, I'm wanting to do it from like 11 to 1.
That'd be the week before the Freedom Days.
June. Yeah, so it's like 3 weeks away. 2 weeks away.
Yeah, so you're talking about bond that's in between the upper and lower part. You want to
Yes.
walk off on both sides like we did for Freedom Day.
Yeah.
Robert Lee
Oh, yeah.
section.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that whatsoever. I mean, does anyone?
I would just have people pull their car, like whoever's gonna be a vendor or whatever, pull their car in on one side and then.
I can have the guys bring down the
Very
staircase.
Okay, and then,
Set those out.
yeah, I'll just have them like pull, park on the side next to the lower park, and then on the side to the upper park, they have like tables set up or whatever.
And if you, I mean, and as it gets closer to it, just come on here and talk to Hope and the guys, and then they'll go down there and open up the boxes and turn on power wherever you want power, and yeah, use the town barricades, whatever else you want. You're more than happy to let you use whatever
Yay,
down there.
thank
So,
you.
they probably, if you would keep that, like, top of mind with them, maybe coming up like at least a week before,
Yes.
so they can open those up in case, because sometimes we open those things up in the summer, and either there's wasp nests or a mouse, like a mouse house, send it over the winter, and it's like, that way they don't, you want to use it, and they open it up, and they're like, oh, we got to tear this apart and rebuild it, you know, if they have to do that, then they have to kind of do that, so.
Sounds wonderful.
So next June 13th,
June 6th.
okay, I'm sorry.
So if you have any kids around, you want to come do a dinosaur egg hunt, it'll be fun.
It'll be fun.
Mhm.
It's for the kids.
It's for the
Let's do it.
kids.
Let's-
Okay, somebody mentioned stop signs in the alleys, and she's not here tonight, so I told her I would bring it up. Cause we don't have any stop signs in the alleys, and people just golf carts and dip on out right in front of people and stuff, so
Mhm.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Are there specific, is there specific ones that she was
I think
worried?
it's just the alleys right here in the middle of town.
Yeah. No, I know that I've been thinking about that. There's several, like, garages right up by alleys that like make just like huge blind spots, and you have to get like half your car into the alley before you can see anything. So, we moved a couple, but that's another thing we need to put on the list to see, how many crossings that would really entail, I guess. Or, if it's just stopping one way even, they don't have to be like four ways.
Sometimes it's hard to tell where it's a driveway or the road when you're, especially if you're going through there.
Yeah, especially this one like back behind, on the south side.
That needs to be the golf cart stopping, not the cars.
Yes. So,
Definitely not me on my mini bike.
And then I have one more thing. May I approach the bench?
You're just,
I'm pretty excited.
For you, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And I actually didn't use AI, but, and this may be something we look forward to in the future, but it's about vacant property. And I don't know how many we have actually in town right now. I know right off the top of my head, there's at least 3 houses that I know that are empty. Not to mention a couple of other, business places that are empty. But going forward in the future, if something goes for sale, wouldn't we want somebody that's gonna live there and be invested in our community and not just buy a building and let it sit or whatever? Other towns have, there's examples on here, Rushville has, they have to, register their houses, other ones have to have liability insurance on it. Some of them you have to prove that you're either working on it, like remodeling, or going to rent it or sell it, actively trying to do something with the building instead of just letting it sit there deteriorate. So, I'm for, I know people don't have money, so I'm not trying to punish people that are having a hard time or anything like that. But also, like I said, in the future, if we sell stuff to people, if we make an ordinance that says, hey, you have to do something with this building if you purchase it or whatever in the future, then maybe we won't worry about another empty house or another empty building, or if there's an ordinance in place. Just something to think about.
It also gives the property owner a reason to keep it up and keep it secure and locked up so it doesn't become a home for pests, or there's not somebody going in there and getting hurt or setting on fire or, doing.
Right. Well, and in bigger towns, they have problems with homeless people, vagrancy and stuff with empty places. And, I know not all of them get mowed. Some of them are storage bins. So, it's just something to look forward to maybe in the future to make an ordinance about to prevent more of it.
No, it's definitely something to look into. I think we have some rough structure of this. This kind of goes back to the discussion we had briefly at the beginning of the meeting about it's kind of on us that the enforcement of it haven't been followed through. So we don't have a registration or or a system to monthly payments for vacant properties.
Yeah.
But, in terms of things like the upkeep and different things like that, we have ordinances already in the book that's supposed to take care of that. That's on us for not enforcing the ordinances, or, either not having enough teeth in it or not having it, not taking action on it. So, and that's something we're working across the board on all of our ordinances. As a municipality, if we put an ordinance on the book, we have to follow it. Because of, and legally, we have to enforce it across the board the same way, So, just know that we're making a commitment to everyone that we have to enforce things going forward. We can't, they can't just be on the book and be like, well, we put it on there, and then, you know, some of these issues happen. We've had people come in over the past couple of months, but we appreciate you, April, bringing this to, our attention and, you know.
Yeah, I don't want our town to be strict on everything, but also we want people in our community to be invested in our community. And I don't understand purchasing buildings or having buildings or houses that are empty and never anything done with it. If they're actively working on it or actively trying to sell it or rent it or whatever, that's understandable. But just to have a house that's empty all the time and, you know, and you guys have to send out stuff to get their yard mowed or whatever, I don't think it's.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and it's not fair to you as a property owner, which your house is most people's largest asset that they own. And if you want to liquidate that asset and move someplace else, it's not fair if, you know, the people beside you have decreased your property value to the point where you can't even sell it if you want to. So that's, you know, I'm all for property rights and everything, but also,
Yeah.
you know, you have to, at the same time, it's just being a good neighbor. It goes back to, and unfortunately, there's some people that aren't naturally good neighbors, and you have to enforce these ordinances on them.
Yeah.
So, but for the most part, this town is full of good people that if you're just going to talk to them, you know, they're going to work with you and do this, but every once in a while, you have to, you unfortunately have to bring the ordinances out. So that's what they're there for. But again, we appreciate you for you bringing this to us, our attention, and, you know, this is something that we'll think about as we're possibly amending some ordinances here in the future.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, do we have any other audience comment, question, statement? Okay, well, seeing none, I'll look for a motion to adjourn the meeting.
We can discuss Scott's future.
Well, I mean, right now, we don't have a quorum to bring anybody, on, but we do, I'll go ahead and we'll put it on the record here that Scott Fish did resign the board, effective, April 30th. So right now we're in the process of seeking candidates for, to backfill his position, which is also up for election, this November. That seat will be up for election. So it'll be an appointment. The way it'll work is that because he was, Scott was registered Republican, John Madison, the Republican committee chair for Henry County, has the ability to appoint, and if he can either appoint someone to that position himself, or if he doesn't, he can also give that power back here to the board to appoint somebody, and that person can either serve out the time from basically June to November and say, I'm not going to run again, or if they want to stay on the board, then they'll have to register. John will help them get registered, and they'll have to run for actual election in November to backfill that seat. So we're still in a little bit of a limbo right now. Darren had a conflict, he couldn't be here tonight, and then of course Scott. So we hate to see Scott go. He's
moving, isn't he?
No, he's not moving. He's got a lot of things going on with his day job that pays the bills and everything else, and he needed to start unloading some stuff off his plate. So, yeah, we hate to see him go, but I understand you gotta put your family and your livelihood first. So, we appreciate his multiple years of service. He served, went off for a while, then came back on. So, that's the update on him. So, I look forward, we'll get continuing there now, all the candidates and stuff like that. We'll get a final word from John, and then we can move forward there. So. Okay, well, then can I hear a motion to adjourn the meeting? The May 12th, 2026 meeting of Cypress Town Council?
Okay.
It's been moved and seconded to adjourn the May 12th, 2026 meeting of the Spicer County